On ECB consensus on policy response and market expectations. ECB policymakers, specifically the ECB Governing Council, voiced their views on being confident of an interest rate cut in June as inflation edges lower. Isabel Schnabel indicates the rate cutting policy from May forward on Governing Council decision is to spur on the Eurozone economy. First, we look at the economic response out of the real Eurozone economy since the ECB entered the rate cutting cycle commencing in September 2023. If we are considerate of the disinflationary risks abating, then we must allocate ECB policy response, in particular lending rates and transmission, to avoid a trough of disinflationary volatility explicable through a near contraction Eurozone GDP. Within the same analysis, we look at the rate cutting policy response directly correlated to volatility in Eurozone activity indicators. Reason suggests we look at an upside in activity. Lowering lowering rates indicates a discount on the cost of capital transmitted to the global financial and economic sphere, including transmission effects and correcting for navigating monetary policy through disinflationary forces and other plausibly relevant market forces, which is about 70% of the weighted value aside from monetary policy response, carrying economic activity in real terms. Also, very relevant and indicative is the global market response correlated to a change in ECB monetary policy. US consumer sentiment in April on tariff related concerns, which is the next topic. The first consideration we make is of the Michigan index for the month of April. In a decline for the fourth straight month, is a consideration that we are still in the April month and the Michigan read has been published for the month of April. It is some sort of data collection, some sort of data collection precision. That means the data for the residual April month is yet to be collected. In investor terms, where time implies return on investment, the return on investment for the month of April can differ than the component approach of the Michigan index made out for the month of April, because the data would be collected up until the very instant on which the month would end before the index is published by the University of Michigan. We have spoken of the sentiment and confidence readings affecting the real economy. That means the data for the remainder of the rest of the month of April has not been collected and does not reflect return based on the Michigan Consumer Index, which would be reflected for the real economy in terms of differentiation in time. The index, which is foundational in the outlook for global investors. If you correlate it to the fact that sentiment relates to specifically spending by consumers, you instantaneously see the importance of what has been said. So next, from ECB policy response to US consumer sentiment to finally Toyota Motors. On deal making, Toyota Motors is exploring to acquire key automotive parts supplier Toyota Industries in terms of a potential buyout valued at $42 billion. Toyota Motors indicated they are reviewing several options including a partial investment. Toyota Motors chairman Akio Toyoda, supported by his founder family, indicated a price of about $42 billion or about 6 trillion yen. The market price for Toyota Industries stands at about 4 trillion yen, which indicates about a premium of 50% to current market value of Toyota Industries. There are issues with the valuation of Toyota Industries as of current date. Analysts suggest it's due to global economic uncertainty and economic volatility and issues related to the global car sector, undervalued in an unsustained way. Similar that we saw with the Volkswagen and the debt, the absolute depth of electrification and investment. Goldman Sachs, involved in talks on a potential deal, offers insights that Toyota Industries, as a publicly traded company, is diluted in ownership, has no particular concentration of one party or any parties. In terms of legally recognized influence, corporate influence, or any other relevant form of influence. The previous edition of Goldman Sachs is to me indicative that they are trying to reach Toyota Industries shareholders and have been in the deal making process with at least Toyota Motors. Since Toyota Industries is a publicly traded company and investors can be appealed to in any time because of Goldman Sachs's involvement. The previous edition is a matter of my own personal opinion and insight. Very relevant also are the real consequences of Toyota Motors acquiring Toyota Industries for the global car manufacturing industry and its global supply chain.